Yeah.
Let's have a look at this. Is the T20 team. Do you want to get the test team as well,
Yeah,
James?
so concurrent tours. That I believe that means 2 at the same time.
Parallel.
All over it.
Something like that. So Australia's going to New Zealand for T20s and Australia's going to South Africa for tests. We will cover this Australian T20 team. If you just don't mind scrolling down on that one. Finch retains captaincy after a mediocre, that's probably too
Career.
strong.
Yeah. he was dreadful.
How deep do you want to get an Aaron Finch?
He was dreadful at the Big Bash League.
Yeah, it really needs some runs. Obviously not going to affect his captaincy.
I think he averaged 13.
13, yeah, I believe it was
Series.
13.
Or 13 points something. We'll give him a few extra.
Yeah, we'll round him up 14. He'd be dying for some runs. Obviously has led Australia at T20 and ODI level
Team of the decade.
for a long time. Yes, in that ICC T20 team of the decade. So as an Aussie fan, hoping Finchy can get some runs over there in New Zealand. Would you say he's in Australia's top 6, top 7 batsmen at the moment?
Well,
at T20?
if I was picking the top 11 on form, I wouldn't pick him. Because I'd be
You
looking.
wouldn't open with him? No, current open. We've got too
Like,
many good top order.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
bats.
got
exactly. Because
a lot of depth
you've got so much
opening.
depth. You go like Wade, who averaged over 30. Your Philippe in there, McDermott, Short, Maxwell,
So
Steiner.
there's
There's a top
6 bats.
There's a
Yeah.
top
There's
6
six
right there.
bats. And
So-
the way T20 works, you need your runs from your top 4, really.
Yeah.
You need them
Yeah.
to get off to a quick start. You need them to go. Finch going, he'll get a 50 every now and then from 40 balls. The way international T20s are, you need to go out
You must go
crap out
200.
from the start. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So
10 and over. Like.
it's not one day cricket where you need the anchor, and he has been very good at that. He's the anchor, and you run a ball 100s are very effective one day cricket. T20, it's just you've got 120 balls,
Hit and giggle.
Yeah.
Hit and giggle.
especially when you've got, like you said, those
That hitting to
6
come.
blokes behind you. Yeah.
Well, let's go through the rest of that side. Matthew Wade, vice captain,
Yep.
and also got the wicket keeper there next to his name. There's a few other blokes in this side that can keep. Ashton Agar, Jason Berendorf returns to the Australian side.
Canberra boy.
Shout out.
There he is.
Former Tuggeranong
boy.
Viking.
Valley.
Mitchell Marsh, Glenn the Big Show Maxwell, Ben McDermott, love seeing him there. He had a Ripper series. Riley Meredith, as speaking of Ripper series, he's Josh Philippe there.
Mick McDermott was a bit unlucky for the Hurricanes with Wade coming back. Wade and Short we're getting all the runs. He had to sit on the bench and watch him.
Well, yeah, he's still batting 3.
He's still batting 3, but
So, yeah.
if those blokes
he
are
did
eating up
he
10 plus overs.
did just drop off in those last 2 games, I believe.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Richardsons, Jai and Kane, Daniel Sams. Tanveer Sangha, the 19-year-old, gets his first
it's good to
Australian
see.
squad. Yeah, I like that. Picked on form.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's it. What do you have to see? You had a good big bash?
Yep.
Good. You pick.
Get him
You're
in.
it.
Get
That's
him in.
just as simple as it needs to be.
yeah, so for a bloke that we had never heard of 3 months ago, he's there in the Australian squad. Wishing him all the best over there. Darcy Short, the big Stoyne, Ashton Turner, Andrew Tye, Adam Zampa. Would we like to pick our 11s out of that?
well, I think we were chatting before. The bowlers kind of pick themselves.
Yep.
You go.
So who have you got?
You got Zampa is probably your specialist spinner.
Yep, agreed.
You can then, depending on where you want Sams, you go both the Richardsons, and that could be your 4. Or actually, no, you bunch Sams up and then you play the 2 Richardsons. And who was the other one? It wasn't Berendorf.
Tye. I think based on Ty's
Maybe
previous
Meredith.
form,
Dorf.
yeah, you could
Yeah,
go the
you could go
Dorf.
the
You
Dorf.
could go Riley Meredith. There's a good fast bowling contingent there.
Well, there's 5 T20s. Every single bowler in that squad should play.
Yeah,
They should
yeah.
really every
Rotate
single
through,
one. Let him.
yeah.
Let's have a look what we've got here. I mean, Jai Richardson. Have you seen him bowl from the boundary? Have you seen he's cleared to bowl, but he's not allowed. He can't throw. I want you to get your head around that. He can bowl, but he can't throw.
Yeah.
So he's been fielding. I don't know if you've seen it. He's been fielding on the boundary.
Yeah, and
I don't know why he'd be on the boundary, and he actually bowls it
Bowls
in.
it back
he
in.
bowls it back
Yeah.
in because
You're right.
he
be
can't.
some sort of
It must be
shoulder.
There's some angle he can't get his.
Can't.
Yeah. It's his bowling shoulder. I
it's
think
a-
that's when you need to shut a bloke down before something happens. But I thought he was stiff to miss out on the test team. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
pick here and
Yeah.
he'll play. So
We were picking him in our backup Australian test attack last week.
Yep.
So yeah, I like your thinking there.
I think Sam's is your all rounder.
Yeah, I like Sam's at
6,
7
7.
has shown he can be devastating, really devastating with the bat, and was last Big Bash he was the top wicket taker in that one.
Mm-hmm.
So then who are you going for your bats? Let's say we're going Sam's, both Richardsons, Andrew Ty, Zampa.
Zampa, yep, bottom 5.
Let's
Dorf
say that.
stiff. Dorf very stiff.
Dorf
there, I would've
stiff,
thought.
Merida stiff, maybe a bit of rotation.
Yep.
They'll definitely get goals.
Who's our top 6?
Well, Finch will open.
Well, Finch has to.
With Wade?
I think that's probably makes the most sense, but maybe you start with Wade and one of the other guys and Finchie's 3.
Yeah, they might.
That's a possibility.
Might drop Finchie down to 3.
Whether that's...
Well, who's there? Philippi?
I think, yeah,
Based
maybe...
on form.
Based on form, yeah.
Based on
Sure.
form, Philippi and McDermott have to be in there.
Yeah.
Or they might just go with the Hurricanes connection
Exactly,
of Wade and
yeah.
short and start with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if Finch is then 3, then Philippi's probably 4.
Maxi.
And then-
Maxi has to be 5.
Maxi 5.
Yeah, the
Or
Maxi's your
6 or-
5.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then who you got 6? Mitch Marsh?
No.
The way he can hit like that.
Well, you got McDermott still sitting there. You can put him in there.
I'm going to pick mine for the sake of being succinct. That was a bit of a tongue twister. I'm going Finch, Wade, McDermott at 3,
Yep.
Philippi at 4,
Yeah.
just on form, and then I'm going Maxwell, Mitch Marsh. Darcy Short misses out just on the fact that he hasn't had the best big bash.
Yeah.
But-
you can't drop.
I'd pick
your
Stoinis
captain or
over
your-
March.
Oh,
If I was
Stoin,
going-
I
Yeah, top
haven't
best
had
I'd
Stoin
get-
in there.
yeah.
Marsh is out, Stoin's in. Sorry, Mitch Marsh. Sorry. Had to overlook the big Stoin.
Yeah.
Anyways, we could talk about this for days. We should probably move on. Can we have a look
The
at...
Kiwis, of course, haven't announced their team, like their squad yet. I'm sure they're probably going to have some of their big name test guys in that team as well.
Yeah,
The guys
they're not playing test matches at the same time like
Exactly.
we are. So you'd think guys like Williamson, Trent Bolt will be in that side. The first one of those kicks off February 22, so got a few weeks before we will be watching that. Monkey, do you want to just, for the sake of time, run us through that Australian test squad, please?
Yep. So test squad touring South Africa.
We've got to start with the first one. Who's the first one on the list?
Tim Payne.
So he keeps his captaincy because
Yeah.
we were talking a lot about should he stay captain.
I was listening last week. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I pulled over the car. I couldn't believe the slander over Tim Payne. Oh.
Yeah, it's disgusting slander, I
Oh,
thought.
I can't believe it. Who,
I'm I'm all for the loose bus chains at the moment. I'm just back with him.
But then who keeps?
Well, that's
Gary.
number
Gary.
4 on
Run-
that list.
run
So keep
through the list.
run through the
Run
list.
through
All
the
right.
list.
So run through the list. So Tim Payne's captain. Then we've got Pat Cummins as VC.
Yep.
Then we've got Sean Abbott, Alex Carey, Cameron Green, Marcus Harris, Josh Hazelwood.
Good parcel time. A bit of Harry Potter. Parcel
Harry
time.
Potter, Parselton, or Sean Connery, Josh Hazelwood.
That's it.
The late great.
Travis Head, Moses Henrique,
Here you
Minus
go.
Labuschagne.
Yeah, loose bus chain.
Yep. Nathan Lyons, Michael Nisa, sorry.
Yeah.
James Pattinson, Will Puskowski, Steve Smith, Mitchell Stark, Mark Sketty,
Steckity.
sorry, Mitchell Swepson, and Davey Warner.
Okay,
So, well, first bit we mentioned Wade misses out, so he's gone off to play T20.
Stiff or not?
I think it's probably fair based on his age, and you bring in back Trevor's Head, who's someone younger that you can then hopefully, he's still averaging 40, so you'd want him back in that squad to try build around again.
I think the batting. I mean, Warner's shockingly out of form. Pukovsky, if he's healthy, will open. All our runs come at 3 or 4.
Yes.
5 is really. I mean, Green showed a bit, and he's got runs on the board. Payne, bowlers. 5 is the only real question mark. I think it's heads for the first test. I think he's earned the right. There's no shield cricket, but we can't control that. Moises very much intrigues me.
Yeah, he might be a shout.
5.
Yeah.
He might be a shout there at 5. I do agree. I think that starting 11 goes close to picking itself. As you said, Pukovsky, Warner, Smith, Manus Smith. And then 5, do you go Head? Do you go Moises? Cameron Green didn't do much wrong with
Green
the bat.
should
So
he needs to get his first
six.
wicket, so keep him in there.
Yeah.
Tim Payne and then
bowl him.
your 4 bowlers.
Yeah. Well, Stark question mark for the table.
James Pattinson's in that side. Michael Nisa's in that side.
I think there'll be more rotation in this series than there was.
I think it's a very tight leash for Stark if he plays the first test.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's very much It is only a 3-test series. You see England, to go back a bit, they are rotating in India. So I don't think Anderson and Broad are playing. Or Anderson isn't playing the first test. Broad isn't. Like it's the old school when we used to rotate quicks. Because it's a quick turnaround. Stark looked cooked at the end of that.
Well, I think Hazelwood looked a bit
Hazelwood,
cooked.
gas. I mean, we bowled Paddy Cummins until he literally couldn't move. And it's a quick turnaround. So I wouldn't hate seeing what Nisa has. I love James Pattinson, but you can only play 4 bowlers. And I mean, Stark with a new rock over there. I think he has earned the right for the first test, but. Very short leash, I think.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that one. Has Michael Nisa played a test before?
Negative.
No.
So he's waiting to make his debut.
No, I don't think he has. Sean Abbott's the one there. I don't know why they are taking him, and he should be playing in the T20s. They're not going to pick him.
Yeah.
We should be playing.
Poor fella's going to be a net bowler again, you'd imagine.
Go to New Zealand, be our opening bowler, and he's so good in the Big Bash. Which is a T20. There's a couple selections in there.
A few head scratches.
Like they're what do we have there? 20, 30 players.
Yeah.
Something like that. If you're not going to play Moises, he should be in the T20 team at 6 or at 5.
It's 20 players and 21.
So 40 odd. Like, let's be honest, they're our 40 best cricketers. But just a few.
Alex Carey as well. Like he's been pretty good with the bat as well. Like he's third or fourth in run scored for the BPL. So
he just hit a ton. But again, then there's Wade. You can get a bit sticky.
You can go back and forth between the two.
I suppose that's it. Who in the T20 would you see in the Test team if you're moving them around?
If you wanted to go the other way,
McDermott. I think there's a bit of noise about him. Actually, that 5 spot is open.
Yeah,
he hits a long rock.
I think we were looking at his Shield record the other days. I think he's averaging 36 2 tons, but definitely shown that he can hit the ball in the shorter format. And he's only young. He's only 24 or something. So
I think there's
might get an opportunity at some stage.
So I think that's why Alex Carey's been put in the Australian side, because he's very much being groomed by the next captain. So you got Tim Payne there, but obviously, those two, like Philippe and McDermott, are probably the other two that we're looking out for. But again, those 3 in the future are all as keepers. Only one can be keeper.
Exactly right. What do we?
So yeah.
But I mean, when everyone's saying Carey, you've just said then he's our next captain. What's in between? Like the Cummins is vice captain. Couldn't stand him being our captain. That's what he already does everything. You can't get the bloke captain. He set the field as well. I mean,
hasn't been
I'd say give it to Smudge, but it won't happen. But
no, I don't think so. I think he's been blacklisted.
Head had some noise for captain, but he's been dropped. Like that's also a thing. You've been dropped. That doesn't mean your career's over. No, you can go in here and
dropped.
Mark Waugh, Michael Slater got dropped multiple times. I think Punter got dropped.
So I'd love to see Head just cement down 5. Then you've got your young blokes, there's Pekovsky and Green coming through. Then we're actually, those question marks we had are actually our pluses, our advantages, and the future is set as well as the present. We know what our bowlers do. Then, Carey comes through with a bunch of experienced blokes. And I don't know, it's weird that we lost because we just read the 11 out so easily, but we just lost to a bunch of no-names. So why is it so easy to pick our 11?
Maybe there should be a few more heads.
But it's a weird one. Like no one in this room looks at that and goes, well 10 have picked themselves.
I want back to the short lease comment. Do you think Tim Payne's on a bit of a short lease? Maybe not for this series, but if they get whitewashed, 0-3.
I mean, just in the. He can't cop the beating.
No.
I mean, the Aussie media love turning on their own. So, I mean, purely for Cricket Australia, they'll just. And unless they say to him, look, win, lose or draw for the next 12 months, you just have to cop whatever comes your way. Because he got the highs after the Ashes. He did get a lot of love. And it's
people got short memories, don't they?
With the Ashes weren't that long ago.
No.
Sandpaper Gate wasn't that long ago. He got us out of that. But
and everyone sees the poster boy of Paddy Cummins. Like they all he'd be great as Test captain, but it's hard being a bowler, and it's been a very, very long time.
Sean Pollock, Heath Streak of Zimbabwe.
Yeah, that's the heater.
And blanking.
I think Courtney Walsh was captain of the West Indies.
And it drove the cricket team into the ground.
Wazir Makram. But in terms of Australian quicks, it hasn't happened in 7 years.
65.
65, as per last week's quick.
That wasn't even quick. That was a spinner as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So probably even
special
longer
spinner. Yeah, like specialist quick, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.